Hi guys, and welcome back to a special edition of On the Fence. I'm not at home right now. I'm on vacation, as they say. It was my birthday yesterday, and so I'm up in Cornwall where there's a fucking storm brewing. There's thunder, there's lightning. I mean, life's at risk. I'm in a valley right now, so if floods happen, I'll be the first to die. So this may be my last broadcast. And what a fantastic birthday Liverpool decided to give me by being defeated 1-0 by Atletico Madrid in the Champions League round of 16. What a tough game of football that was. They're such a good side then. You know, they raised their game tonight like I don't know what. You know, they've been quite, I'd say average all season. I haven't really watched them that much. I've just kind of looked at results and stuff, and, you know, they're one of the top three sides in La Liga. You know, they're the kind of only team pushing Real Madrid and Barcelona to take that top spot, but you know, they were on it today. You know, back to the Atletico of old, I think one of the commentators said on the stream I was watching. Yeah, you know, back to the 2016 Atletico that everyone was raving about. You know, the team that defends so well. You know, counter-attack and just strangle teams, really. And even Liverpool, even the mighty Liverpool, you know, they were too much for us in a way. You know, they did, like, they just strangled us and nullified our attack. And, you know, I was kind of expecting that, if I'm honest. And if I was expecting it, I think Jurgen Klopp should have been expecting it, and Liverpool should have been expecting it. Yet we still played into their into their traps. So quite disappointing in that regard. But, you know, it's hard when you come up against a good side. It's like teams that play against Liverpool. You know how they're gonna play. You know what they're gonna do to you. But it's one thing knowing and another thing stopping it. And today I think we were a victim of that. You know, we didn't really know how to play the game against Atletico at their stadium. Their fans are brilliant. Their manager's brilliant. He's a carbon copy of Jurgen Klopp. You know, he's a very passionate manager. You know, he demands a lot from his players, and hard work is the main aspect of their game. And our team is also based on that. So when a team comes up against us and works as hard as we do, it's about what's left then. You know, what can you do then? The bits of quality in between, you know, do we have enough? Obviously we do. We just weren't clinical enough. We had a couple of chances that were, I wouldn't even say they were half chances, I'd say they were decent opportunities. But first of all, Atletico defended very well. There was a chance that Salah had, like, penalty area. Around the penalty spot, and, you know, he looks like he's gonna put a top corner, but I think it's Felipe gets a header on it. You know, brilliant defending again from Atletico. Something again that you just expect from them. You'd expect Atletico to be putting the bodies on the line, fighting for every ball, fighting for every tackle, which they did do in this game. Sometimes, you know, they did kind of go toe the line a little bit, and the ref didn't really deal with it, which is a disappointment in itself. It's not the reason why we lost the game. I will hold my hands up. They were just better than us tonight. They enacted their game plan a lot better. They nullified our attack, because if you want to beat Liverpool, stop them scoring goals for a start. And as much as we've been frightening this season, and last season, the season before, really, in terms of attacking, you know, there's still a way to stop. There is a blueprint of being able to stop Liverpool, and the way Atletico play as well. You know, a bit like Burnley. It's a way of nullifying our wing play and stuff like that, and they did it. You know, if you give the ball to the fullbacks, make sure that there's nothing for them to aim for when they're crossing the ball in, and that's what Atletico did. You know, defended very well in two banks of four, and they broke on us with quick players as well. Look, if you watch the game, you see now what happened. You know, and if you know football, you know that it's quite simple to do that, but it's very effective. There's still reasons why teams play 4-4-2 these days. But going back to one of my biggest disappointments was the referee was just a bit of a gobshite, to be honest. And nothing kind of symbolises that more than in the 80th minute, Diego Costa comes on, and Fabinho tackles him, makes a great tackle, wins the ball with his left foot. Fantastic tackle, great tackle that you want your midfielder to be making at that time of the game, and he blows up for a foul, and he's just a minge bag, an absolute minge bag. He was giving every foul for them. He was not giving us really anything. And, you know, we can all sit there and talk about how there's a conspiracy towards Liverpool this year, VAR, all that shit. You know, let's forget about all that for a minute. Let's just forget. Well, there's nothing to forget. It's not true, but let's just talk about the other side of it right now, which is refereeing in this country and over the world is just absolutely appalling. Like, I don't think it's ever going to change, because nobody wants to be a referee, and there's a reason why, because they take some serious flack. Like, they take a lot of shit, And for good reason sometimes, because sometimes referees just think they're the Johnny Big Bollocks of the game, and they try and marshal it like they are the man, and a lot of them are just piss poor, and they don't know how to referee a game. I've refereed a game once, and it's very hard to do. And sometimes you do make mistakes, and sometimes you just got to hold your hands up and say, look, I made a mistake there. But there's a lot of there's like an egotistical aspect of a lot of referees, and it's like, even when you get a decision wrong, it's like they've got to stick to the guns and be like, yeah, well, I don't care. You know, I just, honestly, I could talk about this for days about how shit referees are, but I do think he was very poor. He let the crowd get to him in 2020. You know, in this day and age, you can't really be letting the home crowd affect your decisions. You know, they were throwing themselves to the floor at every opportunity, getting fouled. They were taking fucking almost minutes to have every throw in, every goal kick, every free kick, and the ref wasn't really clamping down on it. Yeah, you know, I'm sure if we did that at Anfield, if we were 1-0 up, the ref would be straight on it. I just don't know. It's a different ball game, European refereeing. I've noticed over the years. You know, I still go back to the Markovic red card against Basel in 2015 or 2016 when we got knocked out the group stages. You know, that was one of the most ridiculous decisions I've ever seen in my life, and you know that kind of follows suit. UEFA refereeing is a bit shite, but to be fair, again, so is Premier League refereeing, hence why we need VAR. That's the reason VAR is needed in the Premier League and the Champions League and every league, because referees are shite. Like like everyone's talking about VAR, everyone's focusing too much on VAR and whether it should be here or not, whether it should stay or go. That's not the issue. VAR is not the issue. VAR is there to try and help, because refs have got it wrong from day one. You know, you could go back in history, go back a few seasons ago, if you can remember that far back, and remember what things were like without VAR. People get away with shit all the time. You know, bad refereeing decisions are made week in, week out. New rule changes aren't upheld. I remember the corner rule that they brought in. You know, this, I know I'm going off track here, but I just want to talk very briefly. I remember the rule brought into the Premier League for 2 weeks. It was you know, the no tolerance policy on holding in the box. And I think Stoke got given 2 penalties against them on the first day of the season, and we were all like, "Oh yeah, this is good. This is going to eradicate it." The next week, the same referee didn't give one, and it just makes you laugh. It's just ridiculous. Referees are shite. That's just what I want to say. But going back to it, the weird aspects of Liverpool's game that I was worried about today. Not worried in the long term. Just, I feel like these are a couple of niggling things that need to get sorted. You know, at times, like I said, Atletico worked harder than we did, or just as hard as we did, and I feel like we weren't there. The quality that we usually have wasn't there. The quality dried up at times. You know, Salah's not really on form as such. I'm not calling just Salah out, because I think it's ridiculous, the agenda that's against Salah. He's a brilliant player. He's been one of our most brilliant players since he come in. Top goal scorer. He's broke loads of records, and I love him to death. But I just think he's another victim of that as well. Mane wasn't very good. You know, Firmino was anonymous at times in the game. He was trying his best to link up, but it was anonymous. Our midfield were working really hard, but like I said, once they get worked as hard as they can be, and the other team are working as hard, then there's not much else we can do in that game. You know, Henderson's a very good player, working hard. Genie is as well, but they got overwhelmed in the midfield, and it was a shame and stuff like that. And you know, at times Van Dijk looked a bit shaky as well, because he started to become a bit isolated. You know, defending 1v1 and stuff like that. But look, it was just a overall bad day at the office. You know, it wasn't as bad as Barcelona 3-0 last year, but we know what happened after that. But I don't know, just a couple of little niggling things that it's hard, because players that have come in off, you know, from the squad and stuff like that, like Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, at the moment just haven't really quite got up to speed. And then, you know, Matip's been injured and stuff like that. And just as a squad, we need more options, to be fair. And, you know, Minamino's one of them that's been brought in. He's still being blooded in. It's hard. We're in a little bit of a transitional phase in terms of our players, because we've got a great team and a great squad, and we're winning games almost every week except for a few. But it's just that, like, being able to unlock the game against a team like Atletico, but they are a great side, and you can't take anything away from them. I just hope that we kind of learn from this. You know, Klopp didn't look too happy on the pitch at all, really. At the side of the pitch, he looked very, very casual. You know, very not jumping around a lot. It was similar to Tottenham away last year, a few years ago, before everything kind of changed. You know, the game that we kind of go back to and stuff like that. But look, it was a defeat. There's another leg to play. I just hope that we can go and get the job done in a few weeks' time. And in a few weeks' time, hopefully we'll be 3 steps closer to the Premier League title as well. And maybe that's another reason for the lack of kind of, I wouldn't even say intensity. I do think we worked hard. I just think they were very good, and tactically they got it spot on. And you know, me and the lads were talking about it on the chat before the game. I said there was only 2 ways it was going to go. Either Liverpool will maul Atletico, or they will just nullify our attack, and that's what happened. The second of the two, they nullified our attack. They got an early goal. That helps, of course it does. And it just happens that we were talking about stats before the game, or this week leading up to the game, that Liverpool have faced 120 corners in the Premier League and only conceded 1. And we're actually it's more likely that we'd score from a counter attack from someone else's corner than they score in ours. And it seemed like, Atletico will listen to that and kind of exploited it. So yeah, they took their chance. Fair enough, it is. That's the way it is. But Anfield in 3 weeks' time is a completely different story. They better be ready. If they want to go through, they're gonna have to come up strong at Anfield, because we will be there. We will be strong, and we'll see what happens anyway. So I've been on the fence. Thanks very much. And if this is the last time you ever see me, take care.